So the Indiana Fever today beat the Las Vegas Aces in what was a big, big game. Shout out Kelsey Mitchell. Shout out for that second half. Well, not even the second half, the fourth quarter. Shout out Kelsey Mitchell for that fourth quarter. Absolutely spectacular. That's all we can say. Absolutely, absolutely spectacular. Shout out to Sophie Cunningham. Unbelievable. Shout out to Natasha Howard through three quarters. Unbelievable. And, yeah. Shout out to Aaliyah Boston for her defense on Aja Wilson. But anyway, we got to talk about this. We got to talk about some of the more viral clips of the game. So, first of all, Caitlin at one stage jumping up off the bench to start screaming her refs. And by the way, Caitlin Clark should have been teed up in this game. I don't know the way bench techs work, but if you're in any other league in the world. And by the way, also, maybe the groin isn't as bad. Take a look at this. She's there jumping up and down. So maybe, maybe she's not quite as hurt as we think. I'd be jumping up and down. Like, again, did she get fouled? Maybe. Don't feel like this is part of her rehab. That means she's playing Sunday. No clear timetable. She can't stop jumping on the sidelines. Like, let's be real. I think if this was Caitlin's first injury, I think that she would be. I think she would be back. Let's be real. Let's see how high she gets on this. Let's see how high she gets on this jump. So we're gonna put this on, I'll put this on 25 speed. Let's see how high she gets on the jump. So Aaliyah, by the way, Nalissa Smith definitely caught Aaliyah in the hand right there. Not too high in the first jump. Like, she is leaping. She is absolutely leaping for that second jump. Jesus, lad. She is extremely high off the ground complaining about the referees there. Like, that is vertical leap. That is vertical leap. Like, if this was an Angel Reese fan with that vertical leap, they'd be saying she's close to dunking. Because if you guys haven't seen the All-Star game, Angel Reese board tapped. And they said she was close to dunking. Like, this is how far board tapping is away from dunking. So, a lot of time it's anecdotal evidence. I've dunked about 10 times in my life. And at 28 years old, post Achilles tear, pulmonary embolism, and about 20 pounds heavier than I was at my peak, I can standing board tap. And I could have standing board tapped when I was 25 pounds heavier than I am now. 3 or 4 months ago, I was still probably able to standing board tap. And, like, I'm not even remotely close to dunking. Like, it's so big of a difference. Like, the gap between, like, grabbing the rim, which I'm convinced Angel Reese can definitely grab the rim. To dunk, you gotta be about that much over the rim. You gotta be about that much over the rim and have big enough hands to palm the ball. And if it's two hands, you have to be that much over the rim because you can't overly stretch on one hand for it. But, yeah, if it was an Angel Reese fan, they'd be saying, with that vertical, she'd be dunking. But, yeah, at the end of the day, it is a funny clip. It is a funny clip. If it was reversed, Wilson would be at the free throw line. Not wrong. Ain't nothing wrong with her knee. Yeah, nothing's wrong with her knee. Nothing was ever wrong with her knee. It's a quote. I do, doctor, take rest, take it easy. Rolls footage. Like, I think in general, when it comes to Caitlin's injury, like, a lot of people are talking about this. And they're talking about it in a way where it's like, okay, yeah, Caitlin is, like, she's not hurt or she's faking it and stuff. But I'm like, no new injury showed up. And, like, there was no injury that showed up the first time either. Like, there was nothing that's showing up on scans, which is a positive and a negative. It's a positive that there's no, like, structural damage done to her body. It's a negative that they don't have a fucking clue what's wrong with her. Like, so there's a positive and a negative. There's a positive and a negative to it. But in terms of the, like, losing it at referees, she should have been teed up. As justified as you are, like, she should have been tacked up. Like, she was legitimately screaming at the refs. I don't know if there's in the WNBA, do they have the bench tech rule that's the same as the European bench tech? So, like, basically, if you have somebody sitting on your bench, whether it be an injured player, whether it be a player, as long as it's not the head coach. If it's the head coach, it's a coach tech. If it's a bench tech, it's just free throws. But, like, it doesn't go on anybody. It doesn't go on anybody. So you can have infinite amount of bench techs. But if you have, like, obviously 2 coach techs, you're chucked. 2 player techs, you're chucked. Is there a rule like that in the WNBA? Because if there is, you 100% just bench tech Caitlin Clark just to try stop her doing this. But at the end of the day, these are the clips that go semi-viral. These are the clips that go semi-viral. And it's always somebody reposts. It's always somebody reposts the initial video, isn't it? But she doesn't realize jumping and playing basketball are 2 different things. And, like, I think Caitlin Clark would be probably getting, like, if this wasn't her 2nd groin injury or her 3rd injury of the season, I think Caitlin Clark in general is like, she'd be pushing back to play soon. I think she would be pushing to get back playing soon, if we're being honest. But at the end of the day, it's it is what it is. Because it's her 3rd injury, it's like, let's make sure we're not going fast. I think Caitlin's not far off getting the all clear to play. The problem is that you don't want to risk another injury. So she's being unbelievably cautious. And again, she's gone to another ref. Someone said, is she saying to grow up? No, she's still saying something as the ref walks by her. But she's talking to the refs again. And look, at the end of the day, not something you like to see from players talking to refs, but refs are so bad that I don't care. If the refs were getting better in the league, I'd be like, you know what? It's probably the best thing to do is probably just leave it or not encourage this. But at this stage, I encourage every single player to talk about the refs non-stop until something changes. But anyway, yeah, that is the video. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. And as always, thank you guys for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe.